Good health to you.
Johanka sent me. She asked me to help you with your trouble.
She did? That's wonderful. But she said she'd come herself.
Well, she's up to her ears in work, and besides, we figured your husband wouldn't pay much attention to a woman, since he doesn't even listen to you.
I'm afraid that's true. What now, though?
Well, Johanka thought it would help if Ambrose saw how playing dice was no good either for himself or for you.
Ha! I've been telling him off about it for years to no avail. I even took his dice several times, but he always gets new ones.
You won't get anywhere telling him off. Ambrose has to realize it for himself. If he lost everything he has to me, that would teach him a lesson. And then I'd talk to him man to man.
Oh God, no. I want him to stop playing, not to lose the roof over our heads.
No, don't worry. Whatever I win from him, I'll give it back to you. But first, he really has to believe he's lost everything.
Do you swear, by the Virgin Mary, to give everything back?
I'm not going to make a sacred oath over such a worldly thing. My word should be enough.
If you won't swear to give everything back, forget it.
Come on, don't tell me you don't trust me. After all, Johanka sent me. I'm doing this for your own good, and your husband's, am I not?
That's true enough. Very well then. If you think it'll help, take him for everything he has.
Where can I find Ambrose?
He's not here now. He's getting ready for a trip to Kuttenberg, on some business or other. No doubt you'll find him at the inn. You'd better hurry if you want to catch him. He said he wants to leave soon.
Do you think he'll want to play with me?
Well, he promised not long ago he'd quit. But I'll believe it when I see it. He'll keep playing, especially when he's had a drink or two. And if he's feeling lucky, he'll lose his head entirely and play till the early hours.
All right. Thanks for the advice. Well, Goodman Ambrose.
Yes. Is there something I could do for you?
I heard you were about to leave for Kuttenberg.
Aye. Sir Sebastian von Berg ordered new clothes and he won't settle for anything but the best. I have to go and buy some fine linen, brocade and other things. I'm taking 600 groschen to pay for it all. I'll make him the finest garments ever.
Ah, I see. Well, Sir Sebastian's a man who doesn't like to be disappointed.
True indeed. I'll be on my way just as soon as the horse is shod and the wagon hitched up.
Here, just as you
A
ordered.
tankard of ale for me. I hope I can be of some humble service to you.
I could do with something to eat.
Let's have a drink together to pass the time while you're waiting, eh? On me.
That's kind of you, lad. See you. Good health.
May it serve you.
You look like a fellow who's been around. Tell me, what's going on in the countryside? Are the roads safe?
Oh, it's safer in the province now. There was a pack of enemy cutthroats holed up in Pribyslavitz, north of Talmberg. Mercenaries, bandits, Cumans, and other rabble. But we attacked them and smashed them to pieces. So yes, the roads are safer now.
My word. And who led the attack?
Sir Radzig Kobyla, the royal hetman. Let's drink to Sir Radzig.
Yes, to the bold Sir Radzig Kobyla.
And to his loyal servant, the bold Henry of Skalitz.
Aye, we'll drink to you too. Bold Henry of Skalitz.
But there was a band of brigands on the rampage in the province. They attacked the stud farm at Neuhof, killed old Smill, the owner, and torched the stables.
So it's true then. I heard some talk about it, but I thought it was exaggerated. Maybe I should take an escort with me.
No, not to worry. Fortunately, I caught up with those bastards and put a stop to their pillaging.
That's good news indeed. Let's drink to your accomplishment.
It was no easy matter, I can tell you. They were cleverly holed up, but they weren't smart enough for me. Ha! To my wits!
Ha ha! Shatter your wits!
Sigismund's hordes attacked Skalitz, razed the castle, pillaged the whole area, and slaughtered a lot of people.
I heard, lad. I heard. God have mercy on those poor souls.
But a lot more people would have died if I hadn't warned them. I took an arrow in the leg, but I still rode on to Talmberg to alert them there.
Well done. I toast your determination.
And another thing we can drink to. That wound still hurts. We can drink to that.
Yes, to your wound.
May those bastards burn in hell.
May they burn in hell.
Well, enough chat. How about a little game before you set off? To pass the time.
I wouldn't mind, but I won't play here. The wife would find out about it. I'll wait till I get to Kuttenberg, out of the way of prying eyes.
Ah, that's a shame. I'll tell you something else. Did you hear what happened in Merhayed?
No? What happened there?
Some bandits attacked the locals.
God have mercy. It seems that's the lot of decent folk on this earth. Some fucker thinks he can take what he wants by the sword, and there's damn little you can do about it.
Ah, but the villagers weren't such an easy mark. They stood up to them and put up a fight. They even managed to take one captive.
Good on them. That's what those bastards deserve.
But it didn't end with that. Some pestilence broke out, and people thought it was the plague.
God have mercy on us.
It turned out it wasn't the plague, though. Those murdering bastards poisoned the wells there.
The low-down whoresons. They ought to hang. The lot of them.
Let's drink to this. May all the whoresons get the end they deserve, whether by blade or by rope.
May they die screaming. And while they live, may their mouths turn into arseholes.
That'd save us all a lot of trouble. You'd know right away who you're dealing with. So, you're going to Kuttenberg, eh?
That's right.
That's nice. I've never been there. What's it like?
Ah, it's great, lad. Grand it is. Kuttenberg is a big town. Strong walls. And more churches than you'd count on your fingers. Even the king himself has a palace there. And it's packed with people. When there's a fair, the whole town is on its feet. You've never seen the like. But the city elders are troubled now. Sigismund and his army are camped near the town, and nothing good can come of that.
The devil take that damn Sigismund! He's done damage enough here already!
My word, lad, what's got into you?
I'm from Skalitz. Sigismund's army laid waste to the place.
Oh, I'm sorry. That must have been awful.
Awful hardly describes it. I'd tell you about it, but first I'd have to drink. A lot.
Then let's drink.
Now, I asked myself, Ambrose, why are we here?
In the savin? Well, where else can a man find some culture in these parts?
No. I meant more like in the tavern. But why now? Why here?
Why here? Because I was waiting here before Kuttenberg. Something like that. And why? Well, you came and started this... whatever.
But why did I do it? Was there a reason? Is there a plan? God's plan?
The difference is this. Did you come here of your own free will? Or did you have a feeling you had to? Or the world would stop turning?
I'm here because I'm here. Oh, I came here and I sat and this and whatever. If I didn't want to be, I wouldn't be. Right? I made myself.
That's good, lad. You want to be, and you are. And if you didn't want to be, you wouldn't be. A lot of people are, whether they want it or not. Or they aren't, even if they want it. Or vice versa.
God's truth, Ambrose. We must drink to that. Let us all be. If we want to.
Here, here!
Let's be.
You'll have to prize these dice from my cold, dead hand. That's nothing. I'm used to it. This is the penance I pay. The only fortunate thing is that Guta isn't here to see it.
Ambrose, you hound. What got into you yesterday?
Me? Nothing. We drank a bit, all right. Quite a bit. And then I went to sleep.
What? You don't remember? You got as drunk as a lord. Started shouting that you were the greatest dice master in Bohemia and that you'd show everyone. No one had the nerve to tackle you, so you insisted I had to give you a game. But you lost, and then you got really worked up and wanted to save your reputation. We ended up playing until the early hours.
Damn. I don't remember a thing. Did I win?
Oh, you did, a few times. And then you lost everything.
Oh, fuck. Everything?
Everything. The whole 600 groschen you had for buying cloth in Kuttenberg.
Christ in heaven. Oh, God, what am I going to do now? I have to get that money back.
Actually, it wasn't by chance that I ran into you. It was the Virgin Mary who sent me to you.
What are you talking about? Are you trying to make a fool of me?
No, I mean it. My friend Johanka has been visited in her dreams by Our Lady, and she's been passing her message on to the people about amending their ways and repenting for their sins, like playing games of hazard, for example. You see how easily you were tempted into wagering everything you had on dice? You're bringing misfortune down on yourself and your family.
Yeah, you're right. I got carried away. But what am I to do now?
Repent and do penance for your sins. Ask God for forgiveness and swear by the Blessed Virgin never to pick up dice again.
You're right. My passion for dice has gone too far. I'll do what you say.
And give me those dice, so they don't tempt you to play again. I'll throw them down a well where they can't put sinful thoughts in your head.
But those aren't just any old dice that you can get anywhere. They bring luck. Well, mostly.
Ambrose.
I don't play with them much. I keep them hidden away for special occasions. Oh, all right. Here you are. Listen, Henry. The money you want from me, do you think maybe I could get it back? I've learned my lesson, I swear. But now I have to go and buy that cloth, and I can't pay for it.
You've seen the error of your ways. That's all I wanted. I never intended to take your money. Here, have it back. And next time, be more sensible about what you do with it.
Thank you, Henry. You're an honourable man. God bless you. See you later.
You won't be hurting anyone anymore, as long as you stay there.
Well, how did it go with that husband of mine?
Well, we sat down and talked, and in the end, I talked him out of playing dice.
Did you? Mother of God, that's wonderful news. How on earth did you do it?
That's a matter between us men.
Well, I don't much like the sound of that. But if he's really quit playing, as you say, all right. Thank you very much, Henry. I'll never forget you for this. Or your honker either. But he has got the money for the cloth, hasn't he?
Yeah, I gave it back to him so he can buy what he needs.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Henry.
Ow! What's up, Kuno?
It's about that accursed ring.
What, again?
Aye, I heard the fellas had you running around for them. You mustn't let them take advantage of you. Anyway, it's all gotten a bit out of hand. I wanted to raise morale, but instead I've got them at each other's throats.
Yeah, true enough. But what do you want me to do?
I want you to get the ring from Petter and bring it to me. I can't just take it back, see? I'd lose their trust. Besides, Petter's hidden it somewhere. You won't be willing to give it up.
All right, but I hope this is the last time. I'll bring you the ring and the game's over.
Don't worry, I've done with this game. In future, I'll just buy the fellas a drink now and again. Let them play their own games.
Can you tell me something about yourself?
What do you want to know?
Why do they call you Dangler?
Because Kuno found me dangling on the end of a rope.
Ah, I see. So, he saved you from execution?
I wouldn't call it an execution exactly. At the time I was squire to the Lord of Buzitz. There was a proper night for you, full of ideals and honour. I looked up to him as a hero. Then in one skirmish he was killed, and the foe took me captive. They stood me on a shaky wooden cross with my hands tied behind my back and a noose around my neck. For amusement. Then they rode off laughing.
Well, how long were you stuck there?
I couldn't tell you. Hours, maybe days. In the end, everything started going black. I could feel the devil pulling me down by the legs.
Jesus. How on earth did you survive?
I didn't. When Kuno found me, he says I was dead as a doornail. They cut me down and took the rope off me. Then someone gave me a kick and I coughed and came back to life. Sort of.
What do you think about this business with Hagen Zul?
Hagen Zul? Who's that?
That robber baron who's been pillaging Sir Radzig's estate. Didn't Kuno tell you?
He did. But then he says a lot of things. Zul, Radzig, Sokol and Hinek of Kravan, Wenceslas, Sigismund. It all goes in one ear and out the other. What do I care? Ride somewhere, kill some fellas, have a drink and go to sleep. If you're lucky, it won't rain while you're at it. That's all.
Can you tell me something about yourself, Jan?
Why not? I haven't been to confession for a while.
How did you end up in Kuno's band?
It's nothing new for me and my brother. We've been fighting for coins since we were old enough to carry swords. Last time we rode with one Lombardian by the name of Collini. All over Bavaria, Austria and that.
What happened? Did you fall out?
Nah, we just wanted to come back to Bohemia. You know how it is. Where no one understands a word you say, it ain't worth a damn.
You and Petter seem very close.
As brothers should be, lad.
To tell the truth, I'd never have guessed the two of you came from the same mother.
Oh, we've got the same ma, all right. I ain't got no ma, and neither does he. And the same goes for our pa. It's probably Satan himself.
Oh. I'm a bit confused. You're not actually brothers?
We might be. We might not. A band of mercenaries found us in a village when I was still a baby, and Petter hardly walking. Playing in the dirt together we was. Their leader took a shine to us for some reason. He took us away and raised us up. Raised us with swords for playthings and ale for mother's milk. A few years later, he was killed in Saxony. The band fell apart, but we joined another right away. That's the way it's been ever since, over and over.
So you two never had... well,
A normal life. We ride from one fight to another, risking our necks and killing who they pay us to kill. That's normal for us. Always has been.
What do you think about this business with Hagen Zul?
That's a very tricky matter, I can tell you. Them Zuls are well known among us mercenaries. Hagen and his two brothers fought in the Margraviate Wars. That's quite a feather to have in your cap. But on the other hand, they've got their weaknesses.
Like what?
They still like to think of themselves as high and mighty lords. Kuno got over that, thank Christ, and he treats us all like equals.
You think Hagen's men have no great love for him?
Well, I'd say they're running before his whip more than following his flag, if you understand me.
Aye. I see what you're getting at. Stefan, can you tell me something about yourself?
What is it you want to know, youngster?
I'm curious how you ended up in Kuno's band.
You noticed I don't exactly fit in with this pack of felons and reprobates, huh? Unfortunately, you can't always choose your company, can you?
No, I suppose not. But how did you come to be with them?
Oh, well, I'd love to tell you, but Kuno insisted we keep that between the two of us. And I'm not one to break a confidence.
Oh. But, well, Kuno said it was you who wanted to keep it secret.
Really? Are you sure about that? You must have misunderstood him.
No, I don't think so. At least... oh, never mind. So, where did you live before? What did you do?
I used to live in a town before. Back there I was doing something very different. Although, now I think of it, maybe it wasn't that different in a way. If you know what I mean.
Actually, I haven't the foggiest idea what you mean. You don't give anything away, do you?
Me? I'm an open book, lad. Ask me anything you like, and I'll give you an honest answer. Go on.
Maybe another time. My head's starting to spin.
As you wish. Shame, though. There's nothing I enjoy more than conversing.
What do you think about this business with Hagen Zul?
I'd say you and Sir Radzig are very fortunate to have Kuno on the job. He's a master at handling such matters.
Is he? Why's that?
Dealing with bastards like Hagen Zoll demands both courage and sharp wits. It's not a commonplace combination, but Kuno has both in abundance.
Tell me something about yourself.
What do you want to know?
How did you and Jan end up with Kuno?
Me and my brother been riding with coinmen since we was little. This was just another mercenary band for us. But Kuno seemed like a decent kind of fellow who'd treat us fair.
Your brother was saying you rode before with some Kalini fella.
He did he? Did he tell you why we finished with him?
Yeah, he said you missed Bohemia.
Ha ha! Miss Bohemia! That's good! Ha ha ha! But it ain't far from the truth. Jan missed any place where he wouldn't have a band of furious Italians looking to skin him alive.
Ah. He did something to anger them.
Oh, aye. While Collini was away, he broke into the trunk where the coin was kept. Took it all and wagered it with a fellow who claimed his bear knew how to dance, and lost it all.
What? The bear really did dance?
Aye. The costliest Chardash we ever watched. We had to get the fuck out of there before Collini came back, and had the two of us dancing, on the end of a rope.
What do you think about this business with Hagen Zoll?
Well, I'm worried Kuno is underestimating Hagen. I was at the siege of Lansenbach with the both of them, so I know a thing or two about it. Hagen's got all these noble airs and graces. These knights that talk of honor and glory. Kuno reckons they're like lost lambs on the battlefield, and he's usually right. But that Hagen ain't no lamb. He's a cold-blooded killer, by all accounts.
Look here, Petter. About the ring I gave you.
Yeah? What about it?
I need to have it back.
Well, that's tough. And don't think you can pinch it from me. I've got it well hidden.
Supposing I take it from you fairly. At dice, maybe?
Ah, you know me too well, Henry. Fine. We can play for it. As long as you can put up a decent wager.
Fine. Let's play.
That's what I like to hear.
Here it is.
Oh, good. Finally there'll be peace around here. And listen, I won't invite you for a drink, since it's not the right occasion. But I've got something special for you.
Thank you kindly. Sir Kuno, can you tell me something about yourself?
Drop the sir. That title brought me nothing but grief. But what do you want to know?
Sir Radzig told me the Rickvold family lost its wealth. How did that happen?
There's all sorts of ways to become impoverished. Nothing easier. Especially when your father's a fool. And your mother's mad as a bat.
Oh.
But it's a long and twisted story. We took our name from Rickvald Castle.
but that actually belonged to the convent of the Poor Clares in Tynitz, and my father only leased it. You see, he knew the abbess there since they were young. Knew her very well. There was even talk that she only joined the order because her family wouldn't let her marry him. Anyway, whether he was fucking her right there in the convent, or he just took a lot of interest in scripture, he spent an awful lot of time in Tynitz.
Oh, you might have been after a bit of both.
Sinning and confessing all in one place. Well, I can see the convenience of it. Anyway, my mother never had strong nerves. Truth be told, her sanity was always shaky. Pa's escapades drove her cuckoo entirely. Then, one frosty December morning, I was woken by screaming and smoke. I looked out the window. I saw my mother there, in the courtyard, wreathed in flames. Behind her, the stables, the farm buildings and the tower were burning too. And she just stood there, shrieking with laughter.
Christ, that sounds like a scene straight out of hell.
Hellish it was, I can tell you. Me and my sister Adela and a few servants managed to get out before the whole place went up. I couldn't get to my father. Or my little brother. Poor lad was only 7. My sister and I were left destitute after the fire. But then my cousin, Adam of Drevich, took us into his castle. A few weeks later, he offered to buy what was left of our estates and sell me a small fortress near Akovnik. It was a great relief. We suddenly had some hope of a future again. So I told my sister about it. And it was the biggest mistake of my life. A week later, the two of them announced to me they were getting married. And all that was left of our estates, lands, woods, villages, Adela was to get it all as a dowry.
But surely that was for you to decide. You were the head of the family, right?
Aye. Only I barely had 17 years under my belt, and I'd just lost everything. Of course, I argued with them, and that was the only excuse they needed to kick me out of Drevich too.
That's pretty harsh.
You're telling me. But I'm not complaining. As my pa always used to say, if you can turn your hand to something, you'll never be lost. I doubt it ever crossed his mind how often I'd remember those words.
What about your debt to Sir Radzig? How did that come about?
A twist of fate, lad. I was fighting in the hostilities between the House of Schallenberg and the town of Colleen. Some trade dispute it was, and I fought under the Schallenberg colours. In the end, the two sides negotiated a truce, and I rode to Colleen with a delegation that was to parley there. We stopped off at an inn on the way, and it was there that I met Radzig Kobyla. I could tell at first sight he was a man after my own heart. A likeable rogue, with a sharp mind and a merry soul. We spent the whole night drinking together and talking, and in the morning we set off together, with sore heads, but in good temper, since he was travelling the Colleen same as I was. Only, once we reached the city gates, they arrested me on the spot. Seems the burghers had it in for me, since I'd been making their lives hell for a good 6 months. On the other hand, I was a member of the peace delegation, so by rights, they shouldn't have even looked at me sideways. And then it hit me why Radzig was there. Colleen is a royal city, so he was there to represent the king's interests.
I see. So he was on the other side.
That's right. Anyway, they threw me in a dungeon, and a few days later, word reached me that the Schallenbergs had reached an agreement with the burghers. Only part of the deal was they would give them my head. And I'd surely have ended my days swinging from the town battlements if it hadn't been for Radzig. He liked me, and he could see it was a dirty trick, so he somehow squared things with the city council.
Lucky for you.
Indeed. I owe my life to Radzig, and I'll never forget it. He's asked me twice before for help. This is the 3rd time, and how could I refuse him?
I'd like to ask about your men.
Ask away.
What about the fellow they call Dangler?
I've never ridden with a better man, I can tell you. He doesn't say a lot, but for that, he listens all the better. Nothing escapes him.
So he scouts for you?
Not just that. It's happened more than once. I was closing a deal with someone, and Dangler told me after that he didn't like the smell of the fellow nearly every time he was right. And the fellow tried to stab me in the back afterwards.
Those Bearman brothers are quite a pair.
Indeed they are. There's no more mercy in them than in, well, a bear. If I told them to skewer you on the spot, they'd do it, without batting an eyelid.
Jesus.
Oh, aye. They'd argue first about which one of them got to do the job. But they're as obedient as a huntsman's dogs. Real soldiers, the pair of them. Reliable, as long as they don't get too drunk. Then there's no keeping them under control. But nobody's perfect.
What can you tell me about Stefan?
Fletching? For one thing, he's a very resourceful fellow.
How did he come to join your band?
Well, let's just say he was in the right place at the right time. You'll find he has quite a knack for that.
What exactly happened?
Sorry, I'd love to tell you the whole story, but I'd be betraying his trust.
Oh, now you've got me curious. Maybe I should ask him myself.
Sure, why not? Our Fletch does love to converse.
What about that dumb one? How did he end up with you?
The stone? Oh, he just kind of tagged along.
Just like that?
Aye, just like that. We were riding from Olomouc to a castle past Kladsko, when we ran into him and some other wayfarers camping along the way. You know how it goes. We made acquaintance with them, had a drink or two. Then we travelled on together. After all, there's safety in numbers.
I'm not sure I'd be thinking that if I ran into you lot on the road.
We might have done some things I ain't proud of. But wayfarers are sacred even for me. Anyway, our fellow travellers dropped off along the way. One in Mohelnitz, one in Schoenberg, and the rest in Kladsko. Except for the stone. He stuck with us the whole way. The fellas kept asking him what he was after. But of course he never said a word. When we were approaching Barsdorf, I ordered the men to get rid of him. I had some business at the castle, and I didn't want any strangers sticking their noses in. Stefan tried to tell him nicely, but he just sat there, staring like he was turned to stone. That's when we gave him the name. Then the Bearman brothers tried to get him off his horse. He booted Jan in the face and knocked him out cold. Then he jumped down and felled Petter with one punch. A man who can do that is a man you want on your side. So we kept him.
Weren't you worried about having a stranger in your band? Especially one who didn't talk.
No, I figured if you can't talk, you can't tell. Besides, I've had worse.
What about Jakey?
Jakey, that boy will be the death of me. You've got to be tough on him, or he's good for nothing. But I'm fond of him, in a way.
Like a son?
I wouldn't go that far. But I've no family of my own. And unlike those other cutthroats, he seems to me like a good lad.
Well, you're pretty hard on him, though. And the others keep him on his toes, too.
The boy needs a firm hand. I was like him once, and I got the same too. If we let him be, we'd end up with a third bear man. And who'd want that?
True. 2 is more than enough.